Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and welcome back to Black American Lineage. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for supporting this channel. And today I'm talking about homelessness in Black America. It is a problem. It's a problem in Black America, and I don't think anybody quite knows what to do about it because many of them will not accept the services that are offered to them. They don't want to go to a shelter. They don't want to go to the Salvation Army because they have to be in at a certain time. So it's hard to know how to help them, but it is a crisis that's not getting any better. More than 50% of homeless families are Black, government report finds. Now, you have to be careful about how these people do statistics because they're saying families as opposed to individuals. So I take this with a grain of salt, but let's see what it says. African Americans, despite making up just 13% of the U.S. population, which probably isn't true, account for a staggering, disproportionate chunk of the nation's homeless population, according to a government report. We're not surprised by this. In 2019, an estimated 568,000 Americans experienced homelessness, with African Americans making up about 40% of that total, according to the annual homeless assessment report to Congress. The total figure in 2018 was 553,000. The disparity was starker when looking at the number of homeless people with children. African Americans accounted for about 52% of that population, with whites accounting for about 35%, the report said. African Americans have remained considerably overrepresented among the homeless population compared to the U.S. population, the report said. This report demonstrates continued progress toward ending homelessness, but also a need to recalibrate policy to make future efforts more effective and aligned with the unique needs of different communities. The homeless crisis of Black Americans is not the fault of the homelessness. It is the fault of systems that have failed our most vulnerable populations and leaders who have failed to protect them. Absolutely. Our charge is to remain committed to the best practices in ending homelessness and to remain resolved to addressing the systems that cause people to become homeless. And I will second that. This article comes from U.S. News and World Report, and it was written before this urgent migrant crisis in America. So we'll need to know in a few years who the most homeless in America are. But in the meantime, I want to show you something. This came from Black Enterprise, and it says, Michigan woman discovered living on the roof of a supermarket. So this was a Black woman because it was in Black Enterprise magazine, even though they didn't show her face. So Black people, I guess, are coming up with some new and innovative ways of dealing with homelessness. The report says a Michigan woman found a way to live rent-free. According to NBC News, police officers in Midland, Michigan were notified by contractors that a woman had made herself a home in the small space of a local supermarket store sign. The contractor saw her on April 23rd. Police officers said she was living there for about a year. In her home, she had flooring, a computer, a desk, a printer, a coffee maker, and a food pantry, said Brennan Warren, a spokesperson for the Midland Police Department. The space was reported to be 10 to 15 feet long, 5 feet wide, and approximately 8 feet tall. The woman left, but police officers did not charge her for being in the space. Police did not identify the woman. Well, or what were they going to charge her for? The only reason a person would do something like that is they're in a dire to desperate situation. I think they should have applauded her for being so innovative and making an apartment on top of a roof behind the sign of a grocery store. You have to admit that was very clever. We made contact with her and she was advised she was not allowed to live there, Warren said. She was formally trespassed from the store and was provided with information on services within our area. However, she did not wish to use any of them. The Associated Press identified the store as a family fair located about 130 miles north of Detroit. The woman told police that although she was homeless, she did have a job. She was able to obtain electricity using a power cord that was plugged into an outlet on top of the family fair roof, Warren said. Before the woman left the scene, we provided her with some information about services in the area. Warren added, she apologized and continued on her way. Where she went from there, I don't know. According to MLive, days after the woman was discovered, the supermarket chain made a $10,000 donation to Midland's Open Door Crisis Shelters and Soup Kitchen. Well, that was generous of them. Well, anyway, this is what people are doing. They're homeless. They're proud. And they don't want to bother anybody. But at the same time, they don't have the resources to live on their own. So this woman had a job. Hopefully, as smart as she is, somebody need to hire her to come up with some kind of city planning to help the homeless people use the resources they have to find alternate shelter for themselves. So anyway, this is what's happening to people in America, and it's very sad. America likes to point out that whatever any crisis is, that black people are the hardest hit, but they don't ever like to admit why. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening. Have a great day.